come away from that thinking, 4-1, that must have been an easy night for Liverpool. Obviously, it was two late goals from our subs, with Xabi and Wirtz, but overall, it's like our season, job done.
Not losing, that's all that matters. I think if the wins come, they'll come, but as long as we're not losing, it's a big improvement.
Even if it came off, I don't think it would have been a good look.
Probably a little bit of moment of madness, a little bit of rush of blood to the head, and he was very embarrassed when it went in, wasn't he?
Once again, I thought Florian Wirtz's performance coming off the bench really
honestly, I love him.
promising, right?
The more I see about him, I love him.
His footballing IQ is great, and that split second gives you an extra couple of seconds when you've got the ball.
A lot of them have changed the tune now, yeah. There's a fair few that do want him out and do want him to go, and I've just never been that type of person that wants to sack people.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Inside Liverpool. We are on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and on your smart TVs, the show where we dive deep into all things Liverpool Football Club. I'm your host, Sam Ellard. Alongside me today is the former Liverpool winger, Jermaine Pennant, man that played in the 2007 Champions League final, and a familiar voice and face across the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel, the former boxer and, of course, big Liverpool fan, Paul Smith. Guys, good morning. How are we?
Very good, thank you. Very good.
Paul, you all good?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. It's nice to it's not just on Paul Smith, is it? But last season, Paul, when you were yet to be introduced into this show, we were winning every game. We won the Premier League, didn't we? And then you've joined the show this season. We obviously weren't blaming you, but hey, 11 unbeaten, Paul.
Yeah, we're doing well. But you've asked me back now, so we're probably going to lose.
We can't lose to Burnley on Saturday, can we?
No, listen, we're not losing. That's all that matters. I think if the wins come, they'll come. But as long as we're not losing, it's a big improvement.
Monday night, Jermaine. It was Barnsley at home in the FA Cup. It was a pretty strong team, wasn't it? From Marnie Slot. I mean, a couple of maybe first teamers on the bench, but the likes of Van Dijk started, and 4-1 victory. In these sort of games against lower league opposition who are going to come and try and make life difficult, I mean, does performance matter, or is it all just about getting through to the next round?
No, I think every game now is just all about either winning, getting 3 points, or getting through to the next round. And sometimes when you come up against these, Championship or League One teams, you can find it a little bit difficult to get motivated as you would be playing in a big Premier League game. You're the better team, you're probably going to go on and win the game, so you don't go in there 100%. You probably save a little bit. But yeah, look, the performance wasn't amazing, but you would say that the scoreline kind of flattered Liverpool. Mm-hmm. You come away from that thinking, 4-1, that must have been an easy night for Liverpool. Obviously, it was two late goals from our subs, with Xabi and Wirtz, but overall, it's like our season, job done.
Dominic Szoboszlai, there was good, and there maybe was not so good. The good, though, I mean, that shot from 25, 30 yards out, unbelievable goal. Why doesn't he do that more often? Like, do you not think it has the art, not just across all Premier League, of just shooting from distance? You don't see that very often anymore, do you?
No, you don't. And the worst thing is, if you look at Dom's goals for Liverpool, they've all been bangers. They've all been, shots from, not all of them, but, some of them being from outside the box, and it's clearly one of his strengths. So, yeah, you're correct to say, why don't he shoot more often? We know when teams come up against Liverpool, they like to play a low block, keep that midfield and defence tight. But, if I'm Slot, I'm saying, listen, Dom, if you're in that chance and you've got space, mate, let one fly.
Especially when you can hit it like him. I used to watch him for Hungary and think, why can't he do that for us? But last season he did, and he started it. And he can obviously strike a ball unbelievably well, but I was at Arsenal and watching a couple of them free kicks. You're thinking, here we go, over the bar.
Two in a really good position, weren't they?
Yeah, but look, when they go in, as we've seen in the past with Szoboszlai, they're brilliant, and he's got more than his locker, and I hope he keeps continuing to try. I think, and I'd imagine, and Jermaine is the expert on this, it's confidence. When you start hitting them and they start going in, you're going to try even more, aren't you? Obviously, when you miss, the crowd sometimes get on your back, especially if there's a couple of passes on as well. I know I've done that in the past, thinking just pass it. But if it goes in, you're thinking, what a goal.
Yeah. But just all round though, Paul, I mean, with Szoboszlai this season, he's probably been maybe our best and most consistent player. Yeah,
and again, Jermaine can explain more on this, but he tries his heart out every game. He's running constantly, he's constantly putting the effort in, and that for me as a fan, that's worth a lot.
So that was the good of Dominic Szoboszlai. Then the bad maybe came not too long after. There was he sort of picked up the ball, didn't he? Kind of ran into the box. And then he tried to kind of, I think, backheel it back to the goalkeeper, didn't he? And got it completely wrong. And then Barnsley scored from close range. I mean, some people are saying that maybe it might be a little bit disrespectful. I think the Barnsley manager sort of said he wouldn't have done that, if it was against another Premier League team. How did you see that? Was it a little bit disrespectful? Did you have a problem with him trying that in his own box?
Well, it's not the issue of trying it, but even if it came off, I don't think it would have been a good look anyway, because it would have put a goalie under a little bit of pressure. But knowing Dom, right, it's not him being disrespectful. It's that it's Barnsley, and that's no disrespect to Barnsley. So you would try things different. Within a game, you may try a certain pass or a little trickery because it's Barnsley that you wouldn't probably do against a Man City in case it didn't come off. It's just these things players do. It's like in training, you try something probably in training that you might not try on the pitch. And I think that's what's just probably going through his head. Like, look, if I get away with this, it looks good. But unfortunately for him, it didn't come across good and it didn't work out, and we got punished and they scored. But I don't think he was being disrespectful. It was just simply, I'm going to try something here. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it comes off. Yeah,
do you have that in when you're boxing, Paul, kind of, if you're playing or fighting someone who maybe isn't at your level, that you would try new things out? Is that kind of a normal thing to do in sport?
It is, yeah, but see, in boxing, anyone could knock you out. Not just like he scored the other day, and I bet the kid's buzzing. He used to play for Liverpool.
Yeah, nice story, yeah.
It's a great story, but in sparring, when you're training, you'll try that, and I'm sure in training you'll try different things, but on game time, game night, fight night, you don't take too many chances. But I don't see it as being disrespectful. I don't think he's done it thinking I'll be disrespectful. He's just done it because it's Barnsley without being...
And 2-0 up as well.
And 2-0 up without being too disrespectful or too arrogant, shall we say. But if it comes off, as you said, Van Dijk was maybe there. The keeper's under a bit of pressure. Van Dijk was possibly under pressure, so he probably just shouldn't have done it. It was probably a little bit of moment of madness, a little bit of rush of blood to the head, and he was very embarrassed when it went in, wasn't he?
I think it was also he was anticipating the player was going to keep running with him.
Yeah, sure.
But because he miskicked it, it invited the player to go, oh, I'm going to hold back here. But if it had probably got his foot all over it and rolled it back, he wouldn't have scored. So I understand, but again, he wouldn't have tried that against a bigger team.
And he was switched on because he had 8 years at Liverpool's academy. That's why he didn't carry on.
Yeah, exactly. That was a nice story, wasn't it? And good for him scoring in front of the Kop. Szoboszlai has now scored from outside the box for Liverpool in the Premier League, Champions League, League Cup, and the FA Cup. The only other players to do that for Liverpool since 1990 are... I mean, one should be pretty obvious.
Ian Rush?
Stevie. No. Stevie. And the other one you would have played with? Known for having a...
Xabi Alonso?
No, it wasn't him. Known for having a rocket.
Risa?
Yeah, John Arnery. You played Risa at Liverpool?
Yeah.
That left foot was something special, wasn't it?
Yeah, he could hit a ball, that boy.
Yeah. So I also thought on the game last night, once again, I thought Florian Wirtz's performance coming off the bench really, really...
honestly, I love him.
Promising, right?
The more I see about him, I love him. I think I said at the start, and I'm not being a know-it-all, like I said on the basis that them stat men probably won't get this wrong. If they paid that much money and they're willing to pay that much money, they probably know a hell of a lot more of the game than the average fan and the average fan on the street.
Yeah.
If they've studied him and analysed him so much and they're still willing to pay that money that they paid for him, I think it's probably impossible for him to fail apart from injury wise. But the more I'm watching him, the more I'm seeing of him, he's just unbelievable. I think he's probably the future.
Yeah, I think so. I think like when he first came, even though it took him maybe a little while to settle in, there are probably other factors for that. Lots of players that come in, it can be quite normal for a new young lad coming from abroad to settle into a league. The team was struggling, like the manager probably didn't quite know best where to play Wirtz. There were some circumstances, he didn't just slot into a team that was playing really, really well. But I even thought, even though he wasn't impacting games like we would have liked to, we all said it on this show, you could just see glimpses of him having that touch, having that quality, and now I think we're starting to see that, and we're starting to see, I think it's 3 goals, 2 assists in the last 6 games, and he's just maybe now playing with that kind of swagger that you want to see from your £100 million lad.
I noticed, and this is what I want to ask you as well, I notice with him, this is me being very basic on football, he finds space all the time. so much and is always open to take the ball and ask him for the ball.
Yeah, his IQ is amazing. His footballing IQ is great. He knows, like I just touched on, where the space is. He's always, on the swivel, meaning his head. He's always looking around his shoulders. Where's my opponent? Which side is he coming from? Yeah. And that split second gives you an extra couple of seconds when you've got the ball. Because you already know where you're going to go before you've even got the ball. Where some players could be good, they control it, then have a look. By that time in the Premier League, you're getting hit. Yeah. So he's had to. I'm not saying learn that, but he's now adapting that because I need to be a bit more sharper because it's the Premier League. It's a lot quicker.
That's what everyone says, don't they? The Premier League's a bit different.
And now you're seeing him slowly and surely start getting used to it, starting to settle. And I said, 3 goals in his last 6 and 2 assists. I was on the show Sports Bar last night and we're saying...
I thought you looked a little bit tired this morning, Jermaine. I wondered, I was on the Sports Bar, you're on a night out, but I thought, not on a Monday night, right?
Not on a school night. And we're saying we're probably starting to see him in a Katika bubble, starting to really come to the forefront and why he was worth this much, why they was willing to pay this much money for him. And I've said all along, every time I've seen him play, he's a fantastic player. He just needs a little bit of time. And now that goal, he could have scored 2 yesterday. Yeah. That one where Dom put it in the box again. If that's in the Premier League, he's sure his foot's going right through that. But yeah, he's like you say, he's going to be Liverpool here for a good.
Yeah, and I'm buzzing for him as well on a personal note because you imagine how much pressure was on him. £100 million player, new country, new league. I don't know if he speaks the language yet too well. But, he must have had so much going on in his mind, stuff that isn't his fault, like price tag. So just for him to get those goals, assists,
it's going to do absolutely huge for his confidence. They saw the team. When he scored that first goal, his first Premier League goal, how the team reacted, how he reacted. He knew it himself, finally.
Yeah.
And now, look, he's...
But Jermaine, didn't we say on the show all season, he did that one goal, that one bit of magic, and all of a sudden everything would just settle, the noise would stop, and then you could just see him settling in, right?
Yeah. It's got to be that way in especially in football, but in sport in general, that you get that confidence boost and you're more confident to try the next one. If you're doing what you're supposed to be done. If you get your win in boxing or you get it, you knock someone's down in boxing, you're a different fight the next round. If you get your first goal for the club, I imagine as a striker or an attacking player, you're gonna have that confidence and that groove in your step or whatever they call it, you know what I mean? You're going to be have that swagger about you next time, which he's definitely got.
You often hear ex-pros, like when talking about not being in good form, they almost wouldn't want the ball.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever have that? If you're not in good form, you're almost sort of hanging out on the right-hand side, trying
to
avoid the ball. Like, don't pass to me, I'm scared.
If you're having a bad game and I can remember you thinking, just keep it away from me. Because it gets in your head then and then, you try and play a pass and then you misplace it and you're like, oh, it's not a good place. And then you hear the fans as well, and it's just like, it's a bad. When you're out there, all eyes are on you. It's not a good place to be in.
I played the charity match at Goodison, Liverpool Legends against Everton, and I weren't one of the legends, by the way. We were asked to play it, me and my brothers, with John Barnes, Alan Kennedy, all the ex-players, and Everton had all the ex-players, and Ryan Lowe was playing for Liverpool at the time. He kept passing me the ball because he's my mate, going, go on, Smig, have a run. I just kept passing it back to him, get that ball away from me. I didn't want the ball. I just wanted to run round, not look stupid, keep that ball away from me because I'm not a footballer.
But the flip side is, though, when you're in that situation, all you need is a good cross as a winger, beat your man, get a good cross in, and you're like, finally, right, that's what I needed. And then you bounce off that. Yeah. So it
makes a bit like hosting. Like once you nail the opening link, you're
absolutely you're for a long
once
night.
You watch the opening link, you're like, oh, it's gonna be a long show. This is, I'm trying to put myself in the same wavelength as Florian Wirtz, which I'm struggling to do, aren't I? And also, Jermaine, it can be no coincidence either that last night he came off the bench full of confidence because on Thursday night, this great man, you met Florian, Florian Wirtz, didn't you? You had a picture with him, and
I spotted him outside. I was in. Luckily enough, I was down by on the pitch, near the pitch at Arsenal with my brother Liam, and talking to a couple of the players, and got to watch the game up close and things like that. And then on the way out, I just seen him. I fanboyed. I just went over, said, "Excuse me, could I have a picture, please?"
Did you?
He was a bit like wary and standoffish and quiet. I said, "Look, mate, I'm a Liverpool fan. Like
I thought you were a Cockney.
Don't worry. I know this face is a bit scary, but I was like, I'm a Liverpool fan.
Been punched a few times, hasn't it?
Good luck, mate. Wish you all the very best." Shook his hand and got off, and then my brother's got a picture with him. But he was a bit bigger than I thought, and he certainly looks bigger than me on the pitch. I'm 5'11". He looked a bit taller than me, but on his bio, he says he's smaller. But on his bio, on his bio, on his stats, because to check his height. I thought he's
What's it saying on his Wikipedia?
5'9".
Oh, really?
He's not 5'9".
Should have asked him. Should have said your
Unless
Wikipedia.
I'm shrinking with age.
Should have said your Wikipedia said you're 5'4".
Oh,
I
shrinking.
think I'm shrinking and going wider.
It's like me and my dating profile. Every girl's like, you're not that tall. No chance. I promise you I am. I'm 5'.
Good sense of humour.
Also says radio presenter at talkSPORT. Well, not quite. We're fidgeting with the
Inside
lines.
Liverpool.
Yeah. Hey, I am the presenter of Inside Liverpool. That's an absolute fact, isn't it? Not the talent, though. Used to the talent. Frimpong is fun, isn't he? And once again last night, I think since he's come back from his injury, he's been great. His pace and skill on that right-hand side is a real asset, especially where, spoken on this time a few times about playing that kind of diamond formation, lots of kind of, I think players that want to occupy the same sort of space. That kind of width and pace on that right-hand side is so important for us, isn't it?
It's so important in this day and age, in this new style of football, this era. If you've got a player that can get to the byline and get crosses in, also come inside, it gives you so many different options, and we want to see that a bit more on the left with Gakpo, but he keeps on coming inside and ignoring the byline. But with Frimpong, that's exactly what we're getting, and that's exactly what we need, and that's going to give him a lot of confidence as well, coming in on his left, because a great strike, and if you could do that, keep doing it. It's definitely better high up on the pitch.
Think he's a better right winger than
100%. Defensively, he's not the best, so I wouldn't really want him seeing it right back.
That's what I was going to ask you, sorry, because obviously with Bradley, I know we're going to come to Bradley later on in the show, but we're going to need probably him to play right back now, aren't we? So
yeah, if I was going to play anyone, if we had to, obviously when Salah comes back, then he may go right back, and then okay, great. But I'd probably prefer Curtis Jones myself.
Yeah. Okay.
To go there, if that's the only option we've got. It's a tough one. I know,
and then we will touch on this. It does, yeah. I mean, maybe Gomez can stay fit. He could be maybe the best option there. But yeah, I think Frimpong's been. I'm happy for him that he stays fit. And yeah, I think at the moment, from a defensive point of view, I think he's giving us a lot of quality. A random bit from that first half last night. I don't know if you saw this. Cody Gakpo lost his boot. Yeah. And he wasn't able to get his boot back on because the game just wouldn't stop. There was a moment where he was running with the ball, and he had his boot in his right hand. Do you think if the ball comes in and he sort of almost throws his right hand at the ball with the boot, would that be a goal or would that not be a... But the ball...
I think the ref's pulling it up.
Let me clarify though. The ball does not touch his hand or his arm. Or the ball comes off the boot. What are you saying to that, Mr. Jermaine Pennant?
I think the ref's blowing it up for a free kick.
You reckon?
Yeah.
You like that's what I was thinking about last night.
It's a bit like that beach ball, isn't it, with Pepe Reina at the time? That's what it'd be like, wouldn't it?
Don't. Benty still gets asked about that, doesn't he, to this day?
Yeah.
Darren Bent scored 100 Premier League goals, over 100 Premier League goals. Played for England, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 times. He probably gets asked more about beach ball than anything else, doesn't he?
Yeah. I wonder what would happen if that had happened like now. Will it still be the same outcome?
Yeah, especially with VAR and everything now.
Imagine that.
I'm just curious now whether you can put a boxing glove on your foot and kick someone and still get away with the knockout.
There's only one man to try that out, isn't there? That's you. Jermaine, any other takeaways from the game last night?
Not really. No, nothing. Like I said, it wasn't nothing special. Well, I go, what a performance. Let's take that into the next game.
Fans online are calling it slow, boring, hard to watch on. He's not still getting... Is that fair, Jermaine?
Look, yeah. We saw it last season where... that chaos that Klopp brought, which was fun and exciting, and we saw Slot maybe slow it down a little bit. And okay, we won the league, but so all right, a little bit more control. But now he's had that season under him. We've gone back even further, and it's gone even slower and more controlled. And I think we need just a little bit more of that chaotic play going forward. Like, for example, if the ball's on, Gakpo's side, rather than it switch the other side, rather than you going to a midfielder, to the defender, to the next midfielder, then out. How about you miss two players, go straight to midfield, straight out there?
Yeah.
That then has got to get them switched across to the other side. By that time, if you're doing it ping, slow, they're all come across and they're all in place. And it's like, okay, so it's like a training game.
It's all a bit too predictable, Jermaine, is it? Are we too predictable in possession?
You've got to get it in and out.
Yeah.
So they're still trying to reorganise from, all squeezing from over there. At the moment, it's like coming back slow,
Giving them a chance.
So they're just standing there going, okay, yeah, you guys do this.
Would I be wrong in saying that, like, I'm really frustrated in Gakpo this year?
No, I think that's fair to say because he's so predictable. And we've got one player on the other side who's getting down the byline, also coming inside as well. Yeah. And we see what kind of trouble it causes. You know, he's getting assists, he's getting shots on goal. Gakpo, now, you know what the players, if we know what he's going to do, what do you think these guys know what he's going to do? You know, they've got coaches who watch videos, who watch games after game after game. So they're telling their right back, listen, he's going to come in on his right. Yeah. Don't let him come in. Or you come across and get ready for that block. So this is where Slot has got to manage the team. This is where he's got to say, Kirkes, when you, for some reason, doesn't like to play to Kirkes on that overlap. Kirkes loves getting down. If you're going to continue to come in or on the inside, you do that. But then when Kirkes goes on the outside of you, just playing the ball for the overlap.
Yeah. And again, we'll talk maybe a bit more about Slot, you know, a bit later on. But this is, you know, I know results have been much better. But in terms of this style and, you know, not looking defensively open in transition and, you know, I think for too much time we look non-threatening in possession. For the head coach, he's got to try and find out a way to try and get this team looking a bit more better and looking a little more dangerous in possession, right? That's on him as the head coach to find the answers.
Well, of course, that's his job to... You know, it's had long enough now to see how teams feel it against Liverpool, especially at Anfield, when they all go with that low block. Now, you've got to come up with a solution. It's like, all right, you know, in training, you know, set up the other team to do the low block, treat it as a game, and find a solution how we're going to break this down.
Again, that to me is exactly what it feels like. I'm watching us not be able to prize someone open. And it's like watching in boxing an old journeyman just covering up and shutting up shop and... You've got to try and open them up.
Well, that Jake Paul anti-Joshua fight, isn't it?
But if in boxing, people slag Journeyman off, and you know the fella on the couch going, "I'd beat him." Like you wouldn't beat him. If he gets a sniff that he can win, he's going to win. But if he knows that he's not going to win, he's fighting again next week. If he gets knocked out, he has a 28-day rest. Yeah. So he's got to defend himself, protect himself, make sure he doesn't get knocked out, even if he doesn't win. So he fights again next week.
Sure.
You try and knock someone out who doesn't want to be knocked out. It's like trying to, as you say, like it's a similar scenario in when teams don't want to win, they just want to try and take a point, but they don't want you to score. It's very difficult to open them up, and we used to be really good at it last year, year before or whatever, but this year I've noticed, again, me being not a football expert at all, I've noticed it, so God knows what the ex-players or the pros or the pundits in the media are watching. That's probably why a lot of them are frustrated with Liverpool.
Yeah, but we are into the next round of the FA Cup. Wembley beckons, Paul. You fancy that another trip down to Wembley South?
I hope so. Listen, why not? We're realistically probably not going to win the league. The Champions League might be a little bit out of reach for us with the form that we've had. So we'll probably have to start looking. If you want any silverware at all, it's probably going to be the FA Cup.
Best day at Wembley you've had?
I've had a few. To be fair, I've been to a fair few cup finals. I've had a few losses as well. I remember a couple. Some of my best ones were Cardiff. I was at the West Ham.
The West Ham one
final.
Was the best in my lifetime.
Yeah,
it's apart from the Champions League final.
It was roasting, wasn't it? Boiling off.
I wasn't there, unfortunately, but I've been to Wembley once. But that is I think for even like a neutral would say, as an FA Cup final, that was probably one of the absolute best, wasn't it? Because
around about that time, I think it was about between 18 and 20 odds when we weren't going to Wembley. We were at Cardiff every year, weren't we? And I was going down there a fair bit for the cup finals and that. I've had a few good days at Wembley. I was at the Sunderland 92 Cup final. Wembley, that was the first one I went to. I was a bit too young for the 89 and 86 ones with Everton. I was a little bit too young with that. I didn't go to the Wimbledon one, obviously.
The Everton Cup semi-final when we beat them.
Was that? Yeah.
That was, we went one down at that game, didn't we?
Again, I was at that. I got my tickets off on the promoters and they were in the Everton end and I had to swap them outside. I was with my lads and I was like, I can't sit in there, mate. Like,
you got you got to the game?
I got to the game and there's your tickets when I collected them. They were in the Everton end.
You could have done that,
I went to some man, mate, I'll pay you, would you swap me, please?
So you gave a Liverpool fan in the Liverpool end money to...
No, I gave an Everton fan who was trying to buy tickets, them two, and I bought two others. I just had to get
that wouldn't have been good, would it?
No, not a chance.
But some of our when you think back to like a lot of our wins at Wembley in recent years, like obviously there was 2 against Chelsea on penalties. Like the Cardiff one, I'm going back a bit of time now. That was on penalties as well. Yeah. Like a lot, even when we win at Wembley, we don't often play well or smash teams at Wembley. No, definitely not. No. Obviously, the Newcastle game early last year.
But you've just I was there again. But you've just said now, like I will take winning ugly over losing pretty every single day of the week. 100%. But that's just probably me and my mentality from our sport. There's fans out there now, and rightly so, and they're not happy with what they're seeing with Liverpool, with the way we're playing. So you've got to try and find that happy medium, haven't you? We want to win, obviously, but you still got to look good doing it, because people are paying their hard-earned money to come and watch top footballers. How
do you feel then? You are one of those people that pay your hard-earned money.
I will take 1-0 wins every day.
So almost with what we're seeing now, then you're fine with it.
As long as we're winning. It's not that I'm fine with it. I want us to win and look as good as we can do. We're talking about players like Wirtz and Ellard. They're unbelievable at the minute, and watching them's great, and we're seeing glimpses, but I know they've got a lot more than that, and the team can gel, and we've seen how this team plays, even the old team under Klopp. That's so exciting, and probably the best football to watch, but I'd take wins every day of the week.
But that's the thing, though. If we're winning, great. Play this slow, not so attractive football. Yeah. But we're not.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're not winning. We're we keep drawing or losing. For us to draw to Leeds, home and away, that's not good.
No.
As Premier League champions, that is not good. So if we're not going to win these kind of games, play better football. Give us a chance to win. Give us a chance to beat these teams.
Am I wrong in saying usually the better you box, the more you got chance you got to win? Probably the better football you play, the more chance you've got of winning anyway. Is it a no-brainer?
Absolutely. Look, if you look at Arsenal when they play against a team, they're cutthroat. They are at them. You've got Saka down one side. Trossard getting down to the byline, doing all sorts, and it's quick. It's sharp tempo. We're not having that.
I agree.
If you do this slow, try and build up, this is the Premier League. You're not scoring. They're good defenders. You're not scoring them. So
I've seen a couple of comments about Slot saying that this isn't Holland now. It's not the Netherlands. This is the Premier League. You can't really play that way in the Premier League as such. But I also speak to other people who say the man's an absolute genius, and all the football insiders all gravitate towards Slot because of his brain and his knowledge and how technically good he actually is. So I don't know what to believe.
No, last season was so good. Now this season, I'm sat scratching my head with so many questions about him. Brighton at home in the next round. We're at home, which is good. Probably not the easiest of draws. I'd love to know who does these. I mean, Man City. I wish I had a list of all of their cup ties in the last decade. They just seem to get home ties against teams that are almost never in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think Liverpool's got a magnet. Like where's the next Premier League team? Yeah, that one. Yeah, we never seem to get luck in draws.
No. Well, look,
you've got to be the best to be the best and to win. So
there we go. Come on, bring on.
I wouldn't have minded Macclesfield personally after what
or Salford would have been nice.
Yeah. Macclesfield would have been good. Yeah. I always love the FA Cup when obviously the big teams go away from home against any team, and there are a few draws to be fair in the next round.
So I was happy when I seen the team last night. I think we're taking it a bit serious. It wasn't just all the kids. You know what I mean? It was a weakened team, obviously, but you expect that.
But I think you're right, given the fact that we're not going to win the Premier League this season.
Yeah.
The Champions League feels unlikely. I think he's right to prioritise the FA Cup now.
I'm more
unlikely. I said the FA Cup, not impossible. Unlikely.
I'm liking the fact of the Champions League more.
Oh,
reason B, because in the Champions League, everyone is worthy of beating anyone on their day. So when Liverpool come up against these teams, they're not going to be facing this low block, like you would against Sunderland or Leeds or most teams we play now. They're going to be coming out. Oh, okay, you're Liverpool, but that's why I said we're going to probably go to you. Yeah. So we're going to get that space. We're going to get that time. Florian's going to get those pockets, and it's more end-to-end, more open. So I think we fare better.
So you're Budapest, Paul,
yeah, definitely.
In Champions League than we actually doing at the moment in the league.
If we get the final, I'm not going because I am a jinx. I've been to.
Paul, you just stay here, mate. Stay Liverpool.
Istanbul, I was fighting, so I couldn't go. I went to semis. I went to quarters. I went Chelsea home and away, Juventus at home. All the games, and in the final, it was a Wednesday night one. I was fighting on a Saturday.
No,
so I couldn't go to the final. So I watched it. In the boozer by ours, getting beat 3-0 at half time. Some Evertonians ordered in champagne at the bar, so I went home. I got my sweat gear on, ready to go for the run, and then Stevie scored the goal, so I took the sweatpants off, and then the next goal went in, and third one went. I went back up the boozer and watched it, and but then I fought on the Saturday. Madrid, my brother Callum was fighting Madison Square Garden that night, so we watched the cup final in Carragher's bar in New York
for the Gareth Bale
when we won in Madrid, yeah. So
one in
I'm
Madrid,
in New
sorry,
York.
2019.
Yeah,
sorry.
2019. Sorry, Madrid. I'm in New York watching that one, so I couldn't go to that one. All my mates were at the game.
Oh, Paul.
I went to Kiev. I went to Athens. So I'm not going.
If we get to any final,
no, I'm definitely not going.
if we get to
I
any
went to
final,
Basel as well when
I'm
we lost
buying
there.
your ticket off you.
Yeah,
I'm going to buy it off you.
Yeah, can you get us a ticket?
Yeah,
then?
I'm not going to buy it.
I'm not
off
going to
you.
go.
So,
My son's only ever been to losing the European finals.
Your son is?
He's 19 now. I've took him to 3 European finals and we've lost 3 of them. So he's not going.
It is all your fault always. It's your fault, isn't it?
it's me.
That's crazy. So you know in 05,
Yeah.
obviously when you booked that fight, it would have been what months in advance.
Yeah.
You just didn't obviously. I don't know. I thought about the back of your mind.
I think,
you
it
know,
was,
you could.
I think it was probably a 6-round fight, but if I could go back in time, I wouldn't change it anyway. It's the job.
Did you win the fight?
Yeah, I won. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Win.
All right,
all right.
Liverpool won the
I
Champions
won.
League.
We won the champion. It was great, but,
Yeah.
but no, I wouldn't. It's the job, isn't it? I've missed so many things with fights. I'm sure you've missed so many things with games. I used to feel sorry for the players all the time. The lads would be like, they're on thousands a week. What are you feeling sorry for? They're in hotels on Christmas night. The kids are at home. They've got to go like Christmas night, New Year's Eve. The things you miss, the
I'm
sacrifice
sorry.
for your sport.
I'm sorry. I've got no
No,
sympathy for
come
them
on.
on that.
You've got to have a bit of sympathy
one,
somewhere.
One.
For years, I've not seen a Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go. Should we get the violins up for Jermaine
Please,
Pennant?
please.
One night a year, you've had to.
Couldn't have no blankets, no babies. You know,
No pigs in blanket,
no,
right?
No.
No, honestly, Jermaine, my heart bleeds for you on that one. Anyway, Budapest, Paul, you sort us our tickets.
I'm
We'll be
not
there
going,
inside Liverpool. You watch it at home with your sweatpants on. Then if we go 1-0 down, take them off,
Go for
and
the win.
everything will be fine. Some transfer news that's come out this Tuesday morning. David Ornstein, Liverpool summer focus, expected to be centre-back. No breakthrough on Canate contract, with Van Dijk and Gomez expiring in 2027. Right-back recruitment not planned by Liverpool this window. And James Pearce, also from the Athletics, the Liverpool unlikely to sign a right-back this month after Bradley Blow. Centre-back set to be focused for the summer. So both Ornstein and Pearce are saying no right back or centre back this January, Jermaine. That means we will have 6 defenders to fill 4 positions in 3 competitions for the rest of the seasons. And one of those is obviously Joe Gomez, who we know is very, very injury prone. This feels like something we might regret in a couple of weeks or months' time.
I'm very disappointed in hearing that. To be honest with you, I think the situation, especially at right back, to not even look at maybe a loan option. If you don't want to spend money, fair enough. But I look, because we've spent quite a lot in the summer. But some sort of cover, someone who maybe can even just sit on the bench, just something there, because I'm not saying one injury away. We are injury prone at the moment and down to bare bones, and load of games are coming in, still load of competitions. Still got to try and maintain and keep ourselves in the top 4 for Champions League football. It's a little bit disappointing, and as the hierarchy and the sporting director and the board and all that should be looking at this thing. Ooh, if we don't get anyone in, we are taking a gamble. If we get one more injury, that could really destroy our season in every way, shape and form. So it's disappointing to hear that we are not looking at getting anyone. I don't know how they can sit there and go, yeah, everything's fine, it's all right.
I've heard that as well, that we're not going to buy anyone at all. And
Really?
but the excuse is, look what we spent in the summer. We've all, I'm not saying all the money's gone. I don't know, but I can't see us buying anyone either at all. I think we need it, but again, what do I know?
But it's running a risk though. Look at the players that are available. You're running a risk now of someone just spending 25 million and getting Mark Gay.
I think that should be but that's me as a fan. Like I'd drive down and pick them up myself if you need it.
Listen, we've sure we've got some contacts that can
There we go.
fire up a couple of mil.
Yeah.
The fact that in this day and age, 20 or 25 mil for a player, a top world class
Of his quality,
is almost a free. I'm just confused why we're not just getting it done now.
I know.
So someone who doesn't snap him up.
I would love to know what is the latest on Gahey. Like, is Gahey saying no to us because he was there at Liverpool doing the medical, doing the social media videos?
Because of all the romantic in me was thinking that's done. That he's agreed that day because we just missed the deadline. He'd be there first thing in the summer. Or first thing Christmas, sorry. And now you're in, City are coming in for him. City want him now. There's one.
Arsenal wanting them.
Arsenal want it.
It's with Anton Semenyo as well. I thought that would have been
Yeah.
a lovely little replacement for that right hand side for Salah. Even if play on both as well, or you put him on, instead of Gakpo. So that for me, when that happened, I was like, why just look, if you're going to spend it in the summer, let's just do it now, and then you can relax in the summer.
Yeah.
And also, like, I understand maybe in January that signing someone now in January kind of long term might be difficult to do because of the month and stuff, and also they're not sure maybe the club and what's going to happen to Konate in the summer, and maybe, you know, Van Dijk's contract situation. I understand signing, you know, someone for big money in a long-term contract is not easy, but I think even just like a stopgap option, with all the data they've got, all the players they've got available to them, I'm sorry, there must be somebody somewhere across Europe they can get in on a loan or something, as you said, to be an option across right back, across centre back. So I'm really surprised that the club aren't even looking at that pool.
I hope they do, but again, look at it the other way. Just been speaking about Mark Gay, if we're not playing well, and City are,
You might go there.
who are you going to choose? Especially if they're probably going to offer a bit more money, which you would expect because it's Man City. Secondly, the club are looking at it probably thinking, and I'm not, again, I don't know anything, I'm not the expert whatsoever, but if I'm looking at them and I'm the owner, I'm thinking, I'll just give you £450 million. You're playing terrible. Why would I want to give him any more if he might be going? We might be thinking about getting rid of him and replacing him with a different manager. Yeah. So let's save it for when the new manager comes in, or if the new manager comes in. Again, I don't know how it works.
Again, that's what I mentioned, like a loan option.
Yeah.
I understand that point completely.
I hope we get
then,
someone
like,
else,
just
definitely.
affording. At the end of the day, we still got to come top four. We are still in the FA Cup, and we've still got 3 competitions to go for, playing 3 games a week. And again, we're short on options.
Yeah, no, everything that's been said, I'm on board with, and personally, I cannot see us going all the way until February the 1st, and no one's come through that door.
Really,
Because Slot will go, look,
you're right.
he'll be turning around to whether it's Edwards or Hughes and saying, look, if Gomez gets injured, then our midfield is absolutely knackered, because then we're going to have to put Szoboszlai there, or maybe Curtis.
Who would you prefer there? I think Szoboszlai's wasted at right back.
We're lucky in a sense that they can both play there, though, aren't we?
They do a job there.
But I wouldn't put Szoboszlai there.
No,
because you take away so much energy from that midfield.
pressing in midfielders. That's what he's so good at.
You know, if we had to put anyone out of the Curtis Jones or him, I'd put Curtis Jones, because I think Frimpong is wasted back there.
Yeah.
On Conor Bradley as well, we had it. Obviously, we did show the morning after the Arsenal game. We've had it confirmed he's out to the end of the season. I'm absolutely gutted for him, Paul.
Yeah, mate, you could tell the way he landed. Like, on the night we had the phone. We were in the Emirates, and we had the phone watching the replays just to see, and like you couldn't really watch the replay the way he landed.
Yeah, it looked
you
nasty.
could tell the way he landed. It looked nasty straight away, and then obviously you see what happened afterwards with Martinelli, was it? But which wasn't really nice, but I'm not sure he actually knew just how bad it was. But yeah, he's been quite injury prone himself, and the poor lad. You know, he's only young, but he's had a few knocks, and he's been out, and he's missed a lot of game time. And this obviously now that's the season done, and hopefully he recovers, comes back strong.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So Liverpool are unbeaten in 11 games, winning 6, drawing 5. It feels like a weird unbeaten run, doesn't it? Where we should be really happy, but it feels like it's still so, it's our best run since going 24 unbeaten between September 2024 and January 2025. Lost to Forest, didn't we? I think it was 3rd or 4th game of last season at Anfield, at Hudson-Odoi goal. And then from then on, we ended up going on a really, really good run. But Jermaine, what we have learned in the last 24 hours is that Xabi Alonso is no longer the Real Madrid manager. I mean, he does leave them, to be fair, not in bad place. They're 4 off the top. They are in the top 8 of the Champions League. They did lose to Barca in the Super Cup. People are obviously naturally on social media already talking about Alonso and Liverpool. Just kind of your thoughts on Xabi Alonso, maybe what this could mean for Arne Slot moving forward?
Well, first of all, I'm really surprised about the sacking. You know, he's got the best win ratio in the last decade of managers that have been in there, 71%. The next best one was Carlo Ancelotti in 2013. So this sacking is strange, but I'm quite pleased with it myself, because I'd love to see him in that Liverpool dugout. You know, when I played underneath him, he was just a magician. The IQ of the game, the way he reads the game, I'm sure he can bring that as well as a manager, and we saw that at Leverkusen.
And also, by the way, we shouldn't, the Bayer Leverkusen job that he did there was nothing short of absolutely world class, and that is to win the league with them over Bayern, and obviously, and he had Wirtz and Frimpong in that team.
Yep. So, and the tune they got out of those two was nothing but quite amazing, and And I'm sure Florian Wirtz and Frimpong are now thinking, oh, little cheeky messages one another. Look, oh, Alonso's been sacked. Oh. But I think now, look, I think Liverpool were interested in him before when he was at Leverkusen, but he chose to go Real Madrid. I think this puts a little bit more added pressure on Arne Slot, because I'm sure the board will be looking at this going, okay, our man is now available, who probably our first choice, and now if things don't improve, this is just my personal opinion, I think that he's got a problem until the end of the season to either turn this season around or to show the board why next season will be better.
This is the thing, though, and it could be unfair because it's pressure on Slot now where we want him to do well.
Absolutely.
Whether he's going to be here or not by the end of the season, he's not going to go now. We're not going to sack him now. No. I want him to do the best he can by the end of the season, win a cup if he can. But this is a bit of added extra pressure on him. And again, I'm no expert, but what you hear and what you hear on the grapevine is it was always Slot. And that's what we've been told, haven't we, by the club. It was always Slot. And maybe that's just to keep him happy.
What do you mean it was always Slot?
It was never Alonso, it was always Slot. That's what I've heard since Slot's been here. But obviously we know that's not how the game works. That's not how business works. They've probably definitely gone to Alonso, and now he's available, as you've just said. The people behind the scenes might be thinking, well, we shouldn't have probably said he was always Slot because we did want him, and now he's available, and now it's probably creating a bit of fuss behind the scenes, which, again, we're not all privy to, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in the near future.
The thing is, if anyone knows Florian Wirtz, it's Alonso. How he plays, where his strengths are, where his weaknesses are. Same with Frimpong. It will be Xabi Alonso. He would get, right, Florian, you're playing in this role, same as Leverkusen.
I think the club could be in a really interesting situation in the summer where we lost 9-12 under Slot, had a bizarre start to the season, having won the Premier League. They stuck with him, but they probably could have sacked him after the PSV game, I think it was, when we lost 9-12. I think we are going to come top four.
Do you think maybe any other club would have sacked him apart
possibly?
From us?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, that was Chelsea would have been sacked. No doubt about that. So they stuck with him, which I thought was the right thing to do, given the fact that he won the Premier League with us only a few months earlier. I think you're going to come top four. Look, if we win the FA Cup, that'd be amazing. But I think the club will be in an interesting position because you've got a guy who won the Premier League the season before. But I think we all, having watched his team this season, it is messy, isn't it? Yeah. And I think even though results have improved on the pitch, I don't really think we're seeing performances improve. I still think we mentioned that low block, the lack of creativity in possession. I still think we're a little bit too open defensively. And I think if we do limp towards the end of the season, even if we get Champions League football and we don't see performances on the pitch, I'm not 100% sure, even though we won the Premier League last season, that the football club are going to say, you know what, we're going to stick with you, give you more money. And I think it might, and I don't like to say this about a manager that won us the Premier League, but I think it's been such a struggle this season. Unless we see a drastic improvement in performance, I think we're seeing individual players improve. I think there's a chance the club might go, you know what, we've got to move on. Thank you, Arne. You'll never have to buy a pint in Liverpool ever again, but maybe you'll look elsewhere. And because Alonso's out there, a man that won the Bundesliga with Bayer Leverkusen, has that connection to the club, knows the players, it might be something that makes sense. I'm not saying that because I hate Slot, but I'm just not sure. I'm not sure we can go into next season again with Arne Slot as manager.
We all love Slot for winning the Premier League for us, and bringing so much joy to the team, to the city, to our fans.
First ever league title with fans, right?
And he'll ever be one of the greats. And thank you for that.
He's on the manager mural, isn't he, on the cup?
And there are genuine legends, only legends on
Absolutely.
that, right?
But the amount of money we've spent going into the season, start the season as favourites. Buying Isaac and everyone's going, oh, league's done. Let's just hand in the title now. To then seeing where we are now and the performances play out week in, week in. The money we've spent, like I've touched on, the board are going to be going, wow, this is not what we signed up for.
The same money as well. They probably saved that from Klopp spending it, thinking, we know what's happening next year, so we're going to save it all for him.
So
all of a sudden we win the league, and now there's your money. There's go and spend all that. You bought the best players. Wirtz and Isak at the start of the season, you think that's it, the league's done, as you just said, and then look where we are now.
To then kind of go backwards, come end of the season, the board may go, or Xavi's available. We know what kind of style of football he will get. We know the players we've got. He'll probably get a good tune out of them.
And also, I mean, you shouldn't give someone the job because he played for Liverpool, but also from a sentimental point of view as well. Like,
it just all fits.
That's Liverpool, though, isn't it? It's always better the devil you know, and I don't mean that in a negative way because Alonso was brilliant and is brilliant. same with Stevie, with the job for Stevie. It's just whether he's ready or not. I would hate to see Stevie go there and not handle it.
But Alonso's shown these
and be a success. Alonso's shown it.
Won the league in Germany.
He's won the league in Germany. So
managed Real Madrid.
Exactly, he's shown that he can do it just now. Whereas Stevie's probably a couple of years behind that.
Yeah.
So I would hate to see Alonso come in and not do a good job, obviously. But if he comes in and he does anything like he did at Leverkusen, then I'm all for it.
Again, you go to the game. So match going fans with Slot, is it maybe more? Has it changed at all over the last couple of weeks and months?
Yeah, from what I see now, what I'm reading on social media of people who I follow, friends who I've got who are Reds, who've always backed them. A lot of them have changed the tune now. Yeah, there's a fair few that do want them out and do want them to go. And since their opinion, as I say, they go to the match, they pay the money, they buy the tickets, they're entitled to it.
Of course, everyone is.
I don't know. I've just never been that type of person that wants to sack people.
Yeah,
I remember wanting Hodgson to go, but that's a different story.
I love. So now I want Slot to work. I want it to all work.
Same.
Out
I don't want him to be sacked
at all. But for Xabi Alonso, he would have learned a lot from this.
Yeah,
learned a lot how to manage egos, know how to take a different approach, because I think that's ultimately what probably got him the slack, is him falling out with certain big stars and them complaining and whatnot. So he would have learned a lot from this to take into his next role. And then be a better manager and a better man for it. So, yeah, we'll see.
This weekend is Burnley at home. I think we know we're going to get the low block, aren't we? I think we know it might not be pretty, but I mean, it is one of those games. Just get over the line, get the 3 points, and get the job done.
Listen, every week now, it doesn't matter who we play. I'm unsure.
Yeah,
we're at that place, and what I'm saying is, like, we should win. We are the favourites. But are we going to see another Leeds? No. Are we going to see another draw? Are they going to they are going to low block, and are we going to find it difficult? So unless the first 15 minutes go by, I can't give you a prediction. Yeah. Until I see how this game's playing out, I say, that's just where we are at the moment.
Yeah. You going to be there?
Yeah, I'll be there. But again, it's the same. And you go into games like that, Leeds, Burnley, and you're thinking, we're going to win. We're going to look good. Let's see us have a good performance today, and let's see what the players got. Let them open the legs up, so to speak. But now you're thinking, let's just win. Let's just hope we win. But that's the Premier League as well, isn't it? That's the Premier League. It's what makes the league great.
It's cliche, but there are no easy games, are there? In the Premier League, right?
Well,
maybe in your day.
Should be.
Do you not think from when you play to now? I think the floor has definitely risen. Big time.
It's the ceiling's risen. There's a lot more teams that can take points away from you than there was in the Barclays Premier League era, which is for me one of the best eras of football forever.
Are you a Barclaysman, do you reckon?
Absolutely.
Remember that trend that went around Barclaysman? Who's the most Barclaysman Liverpool player, do you think, of all time? There we go. That's the question to finish off the show. The most Go on.
Probably Stevie G.
No. Like I was like Dirk Cow. I don't know why. I think that comes into my mind a little bit. Dirk Cow.
Yeah.
Steve Finnan.
Torres.
No, but these players are like world class. Barclaysman, I think, is someone that.
A Barclaysman.
Like Gerrard's not a Barclaysman, is he? He's on a different level to that, isn't he? Like a Barclaysman's like Steve Finnan, Jan Kromkamp. Those sort of players. David Ngog. Andre Voronin is a Liverpool Barclaysman. Did you play Voronin?
Yeah, I did.
The ponytail.
Yeah. His English was funny. He was a funny guy.
Go on. Who's the most crazy player you played with Liverpool? Like the one that we wouldn't expect it. Who was just absolutely mental. Not mental, but a bit.
I remember getting dead worked up over Aquilani. I remember watching a YouTube clip, seeing all his highlights. This player's mustard. Yeah. He's great. Wait till he comes home.
But didn't he get injured, and then not play until like halfway through the season that he signed for?
Yeah, I think so. I've got a photo on my phone. I went into Melwood with my British title with the Lonsdale belt after I won it with my son. My son's got his Liverpool shirt on. It's Torres, Gerrard, Carre, Aquilani on the end.
I hope he's not watching this, Albert. Thanks for your service to the Liverpool Football Club. Also, by the way, so you got Stevie on your own podcast. When are you going to get someone down here? I'm not asking for Steven Gerrard, but come on, get your contact book out, Paul. So help us out on Inside Liverpool.
I'll try my best. I'll see.
Yeah, come on, make it. Don't get in Simon Jordan before we play Crystal Palace. You can't get him in, okay? Gents, that's it. Inside Liverpool. I felt like we ended on a bit of a negative about Slot, but we love Slot. We're back in Slot. We just got to discuss these things, don't we? But hey, 11 unbeaten, and maybe we're slowly starting to get there. Frimpong playing well. Kirk has had his best game didn't he, against Arsenal? Wirtz some goals and assists. Ekitike continues to be excellent. So it's Burnley this weekend. We've then got Marseille in the Champions League. Jermaine, Paul, thank you very much. This has been the latest episode of Inside Liverpool. We're going to be back same time next week, recording Tuesday morning. And again, with it now being 2026, Inside Liverpool and all of the Inside shows are going to be weekly on talkSPORT's YouTube channel. And we're back next week.